right. You know who's my favorite player in Cleveland these days? Cade York. When I saw him in the preseason and I heard about the abilities he possibly could have here in the future, it just, for some reason, I wanted to get him on all my fantasy teams, and unfortunately, I only got him on one out of my three, but still, what a beast. I mean, this dude seems like he's got confidence to kick this ball forever, and it just, I don't know. It's good to know that. You have something that's at least reliable. Back in the Phil Dawson days, we always knew that Phil Dawson was going to make it. And if it got down to the end and we could get close enough, it was like, that's game. Phil Dawson's going to get this for us. And for a while there, and possibly even still, he was the leading scorer in Browns history. So, it's just good to see that we finally have a consistent kicker. But, man, if you're not excited about that game, I mean, I was really hoping in the beginning that when we were on a roll and we were stopping them from scoring and we were doing everything pretty much we wanted to do, that we would literally just keep the roll on, and then this whole week would just be hearing the talking heads going, well, I guess the Browns are okay with Jacoby Brissett. Because as I've said this whole time, Jacoby Brissett, I mean, when he played on these other teams, he was always sort of like last-minute guy, and they even said that at the beginning of this game, like he's never had an offseason to really prepare, and he kind of really didn't this year either, but still, I mean, he's a serviceable guy. You know what's wrong with our team right now is our receivers. Andy Schwartz, terrible, just like last year. Guy can't catch for anything. He can run these sweeps, I guess, but if you watch him, he runs out of bounds. The dude will never take anybody on. He's too small, too skinny. It was a waste of a pick, and we're just never going to admit it, apparently. We're just going to keep trying to fit it in there. It's like trying to put a square into a circle hole. It's like, nope, not going to work. Not a big fan of that. But anyway, Njoku showed up. Cooper's not looking great just yet, and unfortunately, it's going to take him a little while, I think, to get in. Some people actually said that they didn't really like the fact that we got him, and I don't know. I mean, he's not Odell Beckham. There's really no personalities on this team that I can think of. It was weird, like the first time coming into a game where I'm not like, okay, hopefully, Baker doesn't lose and then feel bad about himself and then suck for the rest of the year or something, Like, the emotions were out of it. It's just a team trying to be a team, and I like that. Now, unfortunately, we got a little sloppy. That pass that we gave up that was just like to Robbie Anderson way down the field just made no sense. I mean, I see what they did there. It looked like there was just a little confusion between the safety, as they stated in the replay, but that's just terrible. I mean, you can't just let a guy run by you like that. I mean, that was such a bad call. And unfortunately, Baker just happens to have a cannon for an arm, so he can launch it down there like that. And Robbie Anderson, who actually hates Baker Mayfield, for some reason, is really good at catching, too. It was like the perfect storm. But, in Cleveland, we're like trained to just think it could end at any minute because literally we figure out how to screw everything up all the time. But this time, I was thinking, I've seen this team working. And, Chubb was doing his best. Kareem Hunt had a couple of good little runs in there. He had a nice little screen pass, too. But damn it if, Baker Mayfield wasn't just there smiling on the sidelines, and it just annoyed the hell out of me. Like, I'm so tired of him being like look, I'm in a new area and people finally appreciate me, so screw you guys. No. Like, he had it so nice in Cleveland. Those commercials really made him relevant. No one would have cared about him if he wasn't in these funny commercials. I mean, I hated watching when we were losing, but, like, at the same time, anybody you ask around the league, you'd be like, oh, you know who Baker Mayfield is? And even if they said no, their friend would be like, oh, well, he's the guy in those commercials, remember? The guy who lives in the stadium. And everybody just thinks it's a hoot and a holler. Go live in Hollywood then, man. I mean, if he was on the Rams right now, he would be in his best space. But anyway, my thing is just the fact that we were playing consistent, and literally it just seemed like our defense was where it needed to be. Garrett was getting home, bunch of sacks, smart decisions just in general by the team. I mean, people were running hard. People were trying to prove that they were supposed to be there. And ultimately, it worked out with us getting that long kick. It's like last season again, I mean, we watched Daniel Carlson do it. We watched McPherson do it. Over the years, we've seen, who is that kicker I can't think of? Ravens kicker. He's just setting new records every time he kicks a game-winning kick. I mean, they're just all over our division. They're just everywhere. Like, we play them all the time. They're always there killing us. But we haven't had one in years. And now I think we finally found some consistency there. So praise that. Something to look forward to in Cleveland. And you know what? People thought we would start out with a loss. Vegas had us at -2.5 here. I was watching all the videos beforehand. People were like, oh, it's a new revamped Carolina team. The Browns didn't even know how to find their ass with both hands. Look what happened, though. It turns out if we don't have people trying to fight just to be the best, and we instead just have a team being a team, it's possible. Anything's possible. And you know what? I'm going to leave you guys the funniest play of the game here. I recorded it on my phone. So I don't know what this guy was doing here, but just to start the game, this was amazing. So here we are, Guys just turn around and catch the ball. Oh, clothesline Amari Cooper. And I'm going to show you this again here because I want you to take it all in. But, essentially the announcers were like, oh, well, I don't understand. If he would have turned around, that would have been a perfect interception. No problem. It doesn't really matter. If he's turned around and he's got his hand around the guy's neck, throwing him to the ground, I mean, what? Where was the dude's brain on this one? I don't know. Like, there's always these funny plays I'm seeing in these random games where somebody just completely isn't thinking. And I guess if I was a Carolina fan, I could have probably showed that one where our safety bit and just like let him take it to the house. That was a pretty stupid play on our part. But that right there, I mean, that pretty much told you about the whole game. I mean, it was close, unfortunately, because we're the Browns. But still, that could have told you about the whole game. Like, Carolina was not ready for this. And they might even be a better team later in the year. I don't know. But this game, they were not ready for. So, oh well. I guess we'll see you guys next week. Hopefully we can keep this streak going. Hopefully we keep all the talents on the field and none of the press conference is going to be about, hey, me, look at me, look how good I am, look how this. I mean, we need to keep this team thing going. That's what the Browns need. We need to become the Steelers. We need to become an organization that can have anybody out there and actually still be a relevant team. Speaking of which, Chris Boswell, after failing, managed to accomplish their kicking victory. So, again, very important these days to have a kicker. Cade York, let's keep it rolling.